Hello, everybody. Welcome
Guys, welcome back to the show.
Sons of Idiots show. Great. I'm
Thanks.
your host, Tom
Thank
C.
you for that. Thank you
Your
for that.
thrilling co-host, Tom C.
I'm your billing co-host, D Marks. You will receive a bill in the mail. I'm the son's bursar.
Always been a professional relationship. I do the thrilling, he does the billing.
Exactly.
It works out this far, guys.
Yeah.
So far, been great. Guys, how's it going?
It has never failed, I would say.
No, it is not. Guys, how's it going in Internet Land? Wait, are we talking from Internet Land, or are they in Internet Land? That's a great question.
I feel like, well, it's like if you're like if you live in New York, you live in the Bronx, and you're like, how's it going in Brooklyn today? I think it's that one of those deals. We're in the same place, but just different parts.
All right. Yeah.
Different boroughs.
I'll do that. It's like we're kind of meeting in the internet.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. That's a nice way of putting it.
I thought so too, right?
Guys, I know if to welcome new listeners, I'm sure you've left by now.
I
we
don't
are a
know.
video
I
game
think
show.
we nailed that part.
We got rid of them. Now we just talk to the veterans. You know what I'm saying?
The veterans.
I didn't even give you that. I just said veterans. I got rid of E. That's my new thing, is getting rid of E's all over.
I'm not sure how much I like that.
It's the fifth letter. We don't need it. Just trust me. We don't need it. And I can do everything an E can do, but better.
I feel like I prefer E's to I's.
Let me ask you this, and I'm about to change your mind. Which one's easier to write? I is the answer.
I's, but I feel E's have their own fanciness to them.
I mean, in a rush, you could maybe do... No, you could always do I faster. There's no question about it. But E is more squiggly, which is valuable too. But not as good.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Not as good. Just saying. Anyway, so far my plan has not come to fruition, but I have whited out a lot of books in the library, which has helped, I think, a lot of kids learn to misspell words even faster than they have been already.
But the E key is broken on our typewriter. That's fine. I'll just start it like this. Home. Oh, damn it.
Guys, this is a video game show. It really is.
Simpsons references. I mean, what?
Dude, did you watch any of the marathon that ended a month ago?
No, but I'll tell you what I did watch, and this has everything to do with video games. I watched the crossover episode.
Dude,
I was morbidly curious.
Oh, did you see the one where a major character dies too?
No, that was the season premiere.
Yeah, it's a real major character, all right.
Who is it?
I don't know if we should spoil it.
I want to know.
I'm not going to spoil it, so everyone stop listening if you haven't already.
I know everyone... Is it Krusty?
Name a character who's not important at all to the story and appears twice in the entire series. You were really close with Krusty.
Oh, Krusty's dad?
Krusty's dad.
That's sad. I don't want to hear about that. That makes me sad.
We can all agree that no one wants Krusty's dad to die, if he even did. But think about this. Who in their right mind would classify that guy as a major character? Would anyone? No.
I think it would be pretty safe to not do that at all.
Yeah, no one could possibly confuse him for a major character, ever. Ever in the history of the world. Do you want me to... Guys at Fox, do you want me to list what a main character might be in The Simpsons?
Krusty is the main character,
Krusty's the main character. Flanders, you know what? Maud Flanders, she could have maybe been a main character. I would have almost given you that. But Herschel Krostowski, not a...
That's Krusty. That's
Dang
not
it.
actually.
What's his dad's name?
Rabbi
Krostowski?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Not a main character.
You know what? We'll go with that.
Honestly, he's on the same level of Bleeding Gums Murphy. If not slightly less popular. Bleeding Gums probably appeared in more episodes.
I was about to say, I feel like Bleeding Gums is in more episodes.
Yeah, which is weird. Or Michael Jackson. We go with that.
Michael Jackson was only in one episode.
Yeah, so that's like the only character I can think of who's more minor. Unless you include like a guest star. Whatever, guys. Anyway, how was the crossover?
It was alright. It wasn't the worst thing I'd ever seen.
I heard it was more Family Guy than Simpsons.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like it was shocking, quote unquote.
I mean, there were, I don't. It was something. That's what I'll say.
Dude, here's something I've noticed, guys. Me and him have both started listening to a podcast called Hardcore History, and it's a great podcast. But for some reason, I've zeroed in my brain, and I can't fix my brain from doing this. But I zero in to every time he says quote and unquote, and I wish I could stop because it's the worst thing to hear.
Oh yeah.
Because he'd be like quote, and then he goes into some cool thing, and he'd be like unquote, and I'm like, just get rid of those. I don't need to notice that he's doing that. I can assume it's a quote because he says it all nice like. I don't know. I got a dumb brain, and it won't stop.
I feel like he has to do that. Regardless, guys, video games.
Video games, guys.
Have you heard of them?
We actually have stuff to talk about this week, so let's not delay any further. Guys, we love Metal Gear Solid.
It's true.
It's true.
I would say that of all the rest of the games coming out this year, I'm not sure if I'm more excited for Phantom Pain or Borderlands, the prequel, sequel.
What fairy tale land are you in where Phantom Pain's coming out this year?
Dude, I just don't even know. I want it to be out this year.
It's not coming out this year. There's no chance it's coming out this year. Listen,
Dude, you gotta believe.
Why would it come out this year? It would already be announced. There'd already be pre-orders on that. It's not coming out this year. It's coming out like probably spring next year. That's my estimation.
I don't.
There's been like 3 trailers so far, and it's like a huge thing.
Dude, but I think because because there are pre-orders on like Amazon and stuff, and all those are for
Amazon is a loose cannon.
I know,
right?
but those all say December 31st, 2014.
Does it actually say that?
Yes.
Well, there's no way that's accurate.
This item will be available for pre-order. This item will be released on December 31st, 2014.
I don't know about that.
That sounds like Q4 to me, bro.
That sounds like the most quarteriest of Forest.
Exactly.
Oh, that's not how quarters work. Well, that would be very awesome, but I don't see that happening.
Dude, you gotta believe. That's
listen,
your problem. Is that you're not
right now the hype train is solid for Borderlands, the pre-sequel. That's what we have to be ready for right now. All right. We are all excited for Phantom Pain, but right now, it's like a week ahead. We got to be excited for that.
That's true.
So, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys. But
guys, Tom C and I went on a little bit of a watching binge.
It's true.
Of like all of the trailers and stuff that they've released so far for the game.
You might say we got trailer trashed. You can quote me on that. Put that on.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
It's so good. It's so good.
I'm not a fan of that.
Right underneath our logo from now on, it's gonna say we got trailer trashed. Honestly, the name of the episode should be trailer trashed. Call whoever does that and tell them to do it. Call the company we hire to make the episode names. This one's called Trailer Trash. Thank you.
All right, fair enough. Regardless, so we watched like all the Phantom Pain trailers, and Tom C had not seen a lot of them, or any of them. I had seen a good portion of them, but there were some that were new to me. Tom, I want to get your reflections on what you saw and what you're excited for, because I know you're excited.
Well, honestly, it was a double-edged sword.
Okay.
Because before I was just excited it was going to exist, and then post-watching all the trailers, I'm sad that it doesn't already exist. So, while it helped me get more hyped, it only hurt me in the in the short term and long term. Because you know my strategy, guys, usually is to not watch anything, to get the full new experience when I play the game, so I'm not disappointed, but also so it's all new. You know what I mean? It's mostly so it's all new.
That's true, but I feel like to be an informed video gamist, this is I like this,
and that's how you got me to do it. But here's the thing: that
also
strategy
is all really sweet.
No, that's true. But the tactic I usually use there, not only tried but true. It's worked every single time that I've tried it and trued it. And I was happy to watch it, and everything in that game looks rad as heck.
Right.
But now it's not out, and it's never coming out. Not this year.
I'm holding out hope.
I'm a little surprised there's not more Borderlands trailers now that you say it. Now that you just said that,
I feel like Metal Gear Solid is a more popular game.
that's true. But there's like 6 trailers for Phantom Pain, and guys, I hadn't played Ground Zeroes at the time. I just have, by the way, guys. What? So we can talk about that too. Uh, so I wasn't familiar with even the engine or anything that
Oh, sorry.
anything that happened or anything that like the game was talking about. So it was really all new for me, including even like how the game worked. And I'm a little surprised, honestly, with how much freedom it looks like you have. Like if you think about from Metal Gear Solid 1 how like rigid and kind of straightforward everything could be, and then to Phantom
No,
Pain where you
if
have
there
like
was any if there's
yeah,
sorry.
the Phantom Pain where you have many different items that all work multiple ways now, which is
If
really well, not all of them, but the ones we saw that have very fun and replay value increasing ways of using them. Because the one item they showed in particular that was really, really sweet is this kind of decoy mine, which you can throw like a frisbee. It blows up into a decoy of Big Boss that the enemy is attracted to and will fire at, right? Which is rad. However, in the trailer, they also show the person throwing the frisbee, beating someone in the head, and they fall off a waterfall. That was hilarious. Or even more funny, throwing it right next to somebody, and when it explodes into the decoy, that busted someone off a cliff too. You can't beat that. That's just classic video game fun.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say is that there are a few things more that really showed just how linear Metal Gear Solid games are than the one that was the graphic that they showed the size of the Ground Zeroes map compared to the size of all other Metal Gear Solid
Yeah,
maps.
guys, go check out the website for that
Yeah,
because it's
it's
always there and it's crazy.
but they lay out all the areas for all you handsome gents to look at, and
That was
you'll
weird. Why
see.
why you got to hit on our audience like that?
I don't know what happened there. Don't
Honestly, it wasn't weird, and we're finally like getting back to a stage with our audience where we were kind of cool with each other, and now it's weird again. I don't get why you had to do that.
Too late. Anyway, um, yeah. So it displays the size of the grounds or of the Phantom Pain map in comparison to all the other Metal Gear Solid games, and like it's funny because like all of the previous games are all just linear pathways. Like you can just see it and you're just like, oh wow, everything in that game, everything in Snake Eater really was just one long path.
Well, they did kind of. I think they kind of intestined it out to like a long line.
I'm not even sure about that because
Actually,
thinking
I'm not even sure about that.
because
Now that I said
thinking
it.
back, I really do kind of remember um not Phantom Pain. The hell was that game called? Snake Eater. Um,
Every
sometimes you
Metal Gear
forget
Solid
things.
ever was named Phantom Pain. That's what you don't know, guys.
Snake Eater being really just being a straight line more or less.
Well, they all
So
are. They really were just linear games where you got to the end of the thing. A lot of the
yeah,
times it was just if you didn't get to the end of a hallway, you had to go find a key back where you were and then go get a key and walk through the hallway.
yeah, exactly.
Like there are different ways to accomplish certain objectives, but the level design really was never what you came to Metal Gear Solid for.
No, but it's just not something I really thought about before. You know,
True, although it is kind of
I watched that thing.
it is kind of misleading because the Peace Walker things are all laid out in a line, which is not actually like accurate because
That's
they're all
that
individual
is a good point.
stages.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can in Peace Walker you can just go wherever you want, and it's not really a linear progression. Guys, it actually is kind of exciting to me because Peace Walker was and maybe still okay. No, Peace Walker is my second favorite Metal Gear game, Metal Gear Solid game. Sorry, uh, it constantly battles between Peace Walker and 2 for me, and Peace Walker was awesome, and I really, really liked it a lot. And I'm really glad that I think it's going to get played more, and I think it's going to get appreciated more. And at the same time, I'm glad that the things I really liked from that game are kind of being built on for Phantom Pain.
It's Phantom Pain's pretty much just going to be a Peace Walker plus 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 plus.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same engine but improved. Similar concepts with the mother base with
No, it's
like
a whole new engine that's totally crazy. That's what you meant to say.
well, I mean the way that
A totally insane thing that's nuts off the hook.
not like the
That's what you meant to say.
Engine was the wrong word. I meant I don't know what I meant, but it wasn't engine. The Fox engine's crazy. It's like a big crazy thing that humans were never meant to possess. It is the Pandora's box of graphics engines. I don't know how it works. I talked earlier about PT guys, which is a horror game in the Fox engine. That's crazy. It's the most horrifying thing you'll ever see. But anyway, I'm glad to see stuff like Fulton. The Fulton thing that was done in Peace Walker, which was always funny, is now even more versatile and radder in this game by like 1,000,000%.
Also, you can pretty much literally Fulton everything.
Because guys,
Like
it's
you never stop Fultoning. It's not a
yeah.
thing.
In Peace Walker, you were building a mercenary company in Mother Base, and you would get tanks and you would get BMPs and you would get helicopters by beating them in combat, and it would be like you just took them later. In this game, if a Jeep is driving by, you can just Fulton that thing up. That thing's going on the helicopter back.
Also, did you see a goat? That's going on the Fulton.
At one point,
Get that goat going.
you Fulton a baby wolf, which is adorable.
Apparently, if you look at the video where you Fulton them away, he actually is missing an eye there.
I was wondering about that because guys, later the wolf has a eye patch, which we thought was hilarious.
Yeah. So the answer is that.
And like I said earlier, with the versatility, the one gameplay trailer shows someone putting C4 onto a Jeep. There's a helicopter tag, and they put C4 on a Jeep, Fulton the Jeep up to right next to the helicopter level, blowing the C4 up on the Jeep, blowing up the helicopter. It's rad. That's what you want. Because here's the thing about Metal Gear Solid games that might not be obvious to anyone who hasn't played those games.
Tell me.
The fun isn't from the story or from like the weapons or shooting people or whatever, or just killing people and getting through the story. It's not even about sneaking around. It's about messing with the soldiers in weird ways. That's
That
what the
is
whole fun
very
of the
true.
game is. Like when you were good enough and you had the stealth gear, you would go into the bathrooms in one and just like put C4 on a dude who's peeing. That's key.
Yeah, that's a proud tradition, really.
That's what you're here for. And there's nothing but fun ways to have fun in the world. Fun, fun, fun. But you know what I mean? The game really, the versatility is opening up the world just as much as the increase in landmass is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
I couldn't
And
have
like
worded it better myself. Thank you.
this is also the first real Metal Gear Solid game where you can have bros.
Bros,
Bros coming to help. Bro
please
style.
go into detail, please.
So one of the trailers that was, I think, the most recent playtest thing that they showed. First of all, they showed jungle terrain because so far they've only really done
The desert?
yeah, the desert of Afghanistan.
The natives call it Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. Um, but in this one they did a jungle thing, and that was neat. But also they showed how Snake can call in support from Mother Base from his bros, like that sniper chick Quiet, and she comes in and she can do all kinds of stuff, and you can command her to shoot dudes, obviously, but you can also command her to scout ahead, and she can mark enemies for you, so you know where people are. It's really neat, and like I feel like it's going to work really well with how big. I think it's going to work well with how big the game is going to be because you really need to like mark enemies and like know where you are.
Yeah.
I think
Go
if
on.
you're not paying attention, it's going to be really easy to get lost in that game. You know?
And Spotted.
No, please say it. Say the thing you were going to say.
I noticed in when I played Ground Zeroes how easy it was just because there's way more things and the enemies are all moving around more so than in the previous ones because enemies can now leave areas. But it's easier to get blindsided by someone you don't see, and now scouting and reconnaissance is like very tantamount to victory. Tantamount or paramount for victory, whatever. It's extremely important to scout before rushing into an area, and even then you have to be constantly vigilant. So it makes sense that you would want to have these kind of guys who can scout ahead for you and do that kind of stuff, which is awesome. I bet you an unlock later in the game will be some sort of radar thing that automatically scouts all enemies on the map.
Maybe.
Like in the tune of a stealth gear or a bandana, that'll be like a big unlock.
but yeah, and then you get some of there's kind of rebirths of some of the tools that you used to have in some of the older games. Like there's sonar that you can still have because there was sonar in three.
Yeah, except it's
Um,
wildly better in this one.
well, the thing is, it also detects animals in addition to dudes, so it can throw you off the trail.
I
Um,
thought it could do that. No, motion detector did that.
oh yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, so you can use your robo hand, which is has a bunch of nifty gadgets in it to send out a sonar pulse. You can also use it to build up an electrical charge to shock people with, but
Which is
also
cool.
and also it's the new knocking mechanism.
Is it?
Yeah, like like you don't have to be against a wall now to do like a knock. That'll. I feel like it wasn't that strange of a thing to say,
Well, how
but
does like the way that magazines used to work, or is it like a special thing for the hand?
well, you remember the knock
Just
when you were
knocking
standing
on
next to
walls.
a
Yeah.
wall and you would knock and a soldier would come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now you don't need a wall.
no, you can like yeah. Now you don't need a wall. You just make a weird noise with your hand.
That it's kind of weird.
I feel like it's not that weird.
I don't understand this concept at all.
It's just the hand makes a weird noise. I'm not sure what's not to get about this.
I'm just yanking on you, bro.
Yo, that's not cool.
Honestly,
We
I think
promised
we
off air
that I wouldn't yank you.
no yanking.
Here's the deal. I think we might need to discuss our yanking
Battleship Po
policy.
yanking.
I like that. We need to discuss our policy on yanking, and maybe give them less yanking on the next thrilling half. I think there's plenty more to talk about with Phantom Pain. I got to be honest.
Oh, I believe that 100% as well.
Guys, we'll be right back.
Guys, we'll see ya.
Hey, everybody.
Hit
We're back. It's number 2 on the halves. Great start. Great start, guys.
bottom of the ninth, fourth quarter, second down, 2 goals left.
Not even, dude. This is more like the 7th inning stretch where everyone decided they were bored of baseball and they had to do a stretch in the middle of the game they paid to see.
Everybody decided they were bored with baseball, so they all decided to go get some beer or something.
See, let's just make the game shorter or something. By the way, guys, in case you don't really know this, baseball is fun to play, little boring to watch, but it's all if you're at the actual stadium, then it's fun.
Yeah,
Just saying.
that's a fact.
A lot of people crap on it, going, "It's a boring sport." It's the funnest sport to play because there's the least constant running, and it's the funnest sport to watch at a stadium because there's the most being able to look at your cell phone because there's nothing going on. You know what's going on.
There's a lot of being able to look at your cell phone. Good call on that.
Yeah,
Smart call there.
You're just really there to see if someone gets a home run, and if they do, you're in for a treat.
You're in for a fun time.
Whatever the Philly stadium is, they have fireworks every time, and then they play Hell's Bells, which is awesome.
I like that.
Because when you go to Philadelphia, what do you think of? AC/DC. Like,
Yeah.
right off the bat. The Philadelphia-born Angus and Malcolm Youngs,
Yeah.
and
Angus
everyone else up there.
cheesesteaks.
Yeah, cheesesteaks. What did I have that was cheesesteak related recently? Oh, no, you had cheesesteak macaroni and cheese. Anywho,
Dude,
guys.
I tried making buffalo chicken cheesesteak today. It did not turn out as good as I wanted.
Oh, I forgot you had the secret to that buffalo chicken dip.
To be fair, I wasn't using buffalo hot sauce, so that's probably the reason.
Yo, you're having a get-together recently where you should probably make that buffalo chicken dip.
I could do that.
That-
Regardless,
You
no one
said to
wants...
bring your favorite dish. I want you to bring my favorite dish. That seems fair to me. Thank you. But
Well-
let's move on.
Guys, we're still talking about Peace Walker and buffalo chicken dip.
We're actually talking about all Metal Gear games, I think.
And we're
Including
also not
Peace Walker.
talking about Peace Walker. We're actually talking about the other one. We're not talking about Peace Walker. We're talking about the new
I'm
one.
sure we're going to touch on Peace Walker. Peace Walker.
Peace Walker. Regardless,
I-
what did we leave off on? The fact that it's going to be great.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna have to table that for a second because I want to briefly talk about how it's very selfish that I'm doing this. But I did play Ground Zeroes finally, guys, and you might see that experience. Wink and a nod.
Tom,
Tip of my hat to
what
ye.
did you think about Ground Zeroes, though?
Well, that's the key. Is what
Did you
they.
like it?
Here's the deal. I put it off for so long. You let me borrow your copy.
Good
Uh,
sir.
you bought it. I think you probably pre-ordered it, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Sorry, did I interrupt you in the middle of eating?
In the middle of a drink, yeah.
Yeah. You bought it when he first came out,
Yeah.
and you played it, and you beat it in a day, and you let me borrow it like that day for real.
It was like 2 weeks later, but yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was the next time I saw you.
Yeah. And so I haven't played it. It was sitting in my house. I was like, yeah, I'll get to it. For some reason, I never got around to it. I maybe figured I didn't want to spoil myself yet because
Yeah, I think that's what you told me.
I still am sticking to the theory that Phantom Pain is going to include Ground Zeroes. It's totally baseless. There's been no evidence of that whatsoever, but I'm still assuming it will. I still am also holding out beliefs that it's going to be out for Steam also, which
It's 100% confirmed for Steam. What are you talking about?
I know Phantom Pain is. Is Ground Zeroes?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm going to get to my conclusion on it. They sure as heck better not charge $30 for it on Steam
Oh
because
no, that'd
that
be
would be
madness.
nuts, guys.
Well, I don't think it's even $30 to download on like PlayStation Store or anything like that.
And honestly, shouldn't have been $30 physical copy when it came out.
No.
Here's the deal: loved it. Thought it was excellent. Thought it was well done. Everything. It was super fun. I want to replay it. Haven't done it yet, but I want to replay it. Want to replay all the missions. But $30 for that's insane. Totally insane.
Yeah, I think you and I came down on the same side on that one.
Yeah. I mean, no one can argue that it wasn't great. Everyone can agree it rocked hard.
Yeah,
It was like
gameplay was great.
it
Um,
was great.
yeah. Um, yeah, and the new features because I think I was most disappointed with in addition to the uh almost impressive shortness was they didn't really let you play around with too many new things.
No,
Like they had the whole like mapping of enemies and all that stuff, but
they let you basically play around with the engine for a quick mission.
yeah,
Which
but
the mission is essentially only two objectives, and that's like the story of the game.
yeah,
There are plenty of other side missions. However, the main bulk of the game, I'm saying bulk in quotes. You can't see these quotes. Quote bulk unquote is just two missions long. Two objectives in a single mission. People were
yeah.
like, it could take 20 minutes. It could easily take 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
You could do it in 20 minutes.
I think if I recall correctly, the fastest speed run is like 7 minutes.
Yeah, definitely possible. And $30 is not acceptable for that. I would say it's probably maybe Kojima just wanted to wet some whistles. Maybe he just wanted to see how it was received. Maybe he needed more funds for Phantom Pain. But either way, I think he probably should have just taken a bit of a loss on it because I'm sure there's been
That's some aggressive crowdsourcing.
it,
It just released a whole new game.
I mean, it's basically a demo. Honest, I hate to say it, it's basically a demo
No, that's exactly what it is.
because it. I understand there's a lot of work going into the engine, a lot of work going into all the 3D work, all the modeling, all the textures, everything. Definitely a lot of work put in there. You can see there's work there, but you can't sell someone a 20-minute long game and say, hey, that'll be half the price of a normal game, because at the very least it should be an hour.
Yeah,
It took me about an hour and a half for our first run, for my blind run.
I won an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, my blind one was long too, just because I could not find paths because I kept going around in the same fucking circle the whole time because
Yeah.
I walked past in that underground area where you find her.
Yeah.
I kept on going.
You didn't see the thing over to the
Yeah,
You didn't see the chain link fence?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I ended up walking past her a lot,
Yeah, I could
which is very
definitely
annoying.
that could be confusing. I definitely could see why someone would be upset if they bought it at launch because I remember hearing a lot of
So that
complaints.
took me 2.5 hours.
I heard a lot of complaints right off the bat. People are upset with the length. And I don't think they're wrong. I think I would like to pay 15. I think 15 would have been fair, right?
I feel like it's a conversation we don't have to have anymore. Like I know you
Ouch,
just played
burn.
it, but like everyone knows that. No, I'm just saying. Like at this point, everyone knows the game was too short. It was bad. Well, it
I
wasn't bad, but it was too
what
short.
if
And
anyone in the audience though is putting out games, they need to know that I'm not going to pay $30 for their demo. That's what you
I,
need to know.
I guess that's a good
This is
point.
a
I'm sorry.
lesson to the audience now.
I'm sorry. I already apologized.
When the audience listens to the podcast, they are signing an informal contract to listen to the entire thing and whatever we have to say. So therefore, we have to say everything we have to say. They are forced to listen.
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Anyway, it did get me super hyped up for Phantom Pain. That's for sure. It did a great job of that. But imagine if I was this hyped 4 months ago or 6 months ago, whatever. It'd be dangerous hype levels. That would be, honestly, it would possibly lead to a meltdown in the hype reactor. And that's a scary thought. I don't
Yeah,
want
you don't. We don't want too much hype in the hype reactor.
I don't want to kill like 3 miles of civilians. I don't want to make that a quarantine zone because I was that hyped, you know? And that could easily happen.
Three Hypel Island.
You tried. I gave you a hard pitch and you swung at it as hard as you could, but that one wasn't going to go out of the park. That's just all there is to it.
Yeah.
There's no good 3 Mile Island and hype joke. There just isn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the worst part is I feel like that's the best joke you could make. Like you're not gonna get better than that.
Well, listen. You're number one in the biz for a reason. No one's going to do better than you. You did the best you could.
Thank you.
That's obviously number
Thank you.
one joke for that because you're the number
Yeah.
one in the biz. And you wouldn't give the second best joke. You would only give the best. So I'm just saying.
I appreciate you recognizing that.
Anyone who fails to recognize it is a terrorist. There, I said it. I'll give you the hard facts.
Well,
Full on Taliban supporter and
I trust you.
probably member. Anyway, tell me what you think, because some of these trailers are new to you. You're saying some of these Phantom Pain trailers are new to you.
Yeah, I knew about some of the stuff, but there was some surprises. I didn't know that there was going to be that the ability to have to call in folks for fun times,
Yeah.
fun buddy missions. The dog was new,
The dog was new.
but something crazy that they showed that I hadn't seen before was you have the ability now to there's a huge new multiplayer element to the game that they've introduced.
Oh, this is
And
awesome, guys.
because basically what happens is your mother base gets destroyed at the end of Ground Zeroes. That's not really a spoiler. That's everyone knew that.
That's one of the trailers, basically.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So your mother base gets destroyed, and then at the end of the new game, you're rebuilding your mother base, but you can also infiltrate other people's mother bases, either to like just check them out, to have some fun,
Some fun.
or you can steal have some fun and steal some stuff from them. You can steal dudes, you can steal gun emplacements, which is crazy. You can steal
Supplies.
cargo containers, yeah.
Yeah. And this
So,
is
like,
rad. This
yeah.
is the best possible. I know people loved Metal Gear Online, but I feel like this is one of the most, probably the best multiplayer idea I could think of. Who knows if Metal Gear Online will come back at all, but like this idea, I would never consider playing an online Metal Gear game except for this, which I am actively considering.
Yeah. Well, I did play Metal Gear Online when it came out for 4, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. That was fun times.
No, for everyone I know who's played it loves it. But I'm not a multiplayer guy. But this seems like a great way to. It kind of combines.
I feel like you're more of a multiplayer guy than I am.
That's true, but I'm acting like I'm not for drama.
No,
But
you nailed it.
But this feels like a good. It feels almost like a tower defense situation, because basically you're not. I think you can fight the enemy player, but I feel like for the most.
They didn't go into that too much.
Yeah, I feel like for the most part you're setting up defenses so that you can be attacked when you're not there. Like when you won't be actively defending your base all the time. someone could just infiltrate your base when they feel like it.
Right.
That's my assumption, which I prefer. So like you're trying to set up. So that's one of the other things is that for a lot of players of Peace Walker, base building had no purpose because it was all extra credit. It was all extracurricular stuff that you're like, oh, I got 20 tanks. Now I can do the same mission, I guess. But in this, it's like an evolving thing where you are actively trying to stop other players, and it's actually like has meaning, which is cool.
I'm not sure if it was that. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that you didn't have to do, but I feel like because remember when we did the thing that we're going to show later, um, about how you like didn't do some of the side stuff, so you got rocked a lot because you didn't have a lot of the.
Yeah,
So I feel like in Peace Walker it wasn't a super optional thing. You didn't have to go super in deep with it, but you did have to kind of you did have to play around with it a little bit, you know?
maybe a little. Yeah, well, okay, that's true. The R&D stuff, definitely
Yeah.
that. But like stuff like you didn't really need to get, you didn't need to do outer ops at all.
Yeah,
And
that's true. That was totally side
yeah,
optional.
so you didn't really have a reason to build up your forces, but you had a reason to collect dudes.
Right.
But in this game, in Phantom Pain, you'll have a reason to have defenses and not only have and recruit defensemen and things actively, but also set them up in strategic ways, which I like a lot.
Right.
That definitely adds a whole new thing to me that I find very interesting and definitely will increase replay value a lot.
Yeah,
I'm actually excited for it.
I am curious about just how because here's the thing, guys. I've read from some quotes from Kojima-san.
We're close to them. You can call him Chan. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like that's not giving you enough respect.
He's pretty cute. You can go with Chan.
What about Kojima Senpai?
I don't like that because I always forget what senpai means.
It's like gay.
It's not teacher like I think it is.
It's like person you respect.
Does it mean that?
Yeah.
I didn't go to Japan.
Regardless, we all didn't go to Japan. But
Moral of the story, nobody's ever gone to Japan.
nobody's ever going to Japan ever again.
True.
Basically, Kojima said in some of his interviews that he's concerned that some people like legitimately might not finish the game because it's going to be so effing big.
Which I like that a lot. I
Yeah.
like being threatened like that.
I like being
like-
scared.
It's like, you suck. You're never going to finish this. And I'm like,
You're a dummy. That's what he said.
oh. Why you gotta be so mean, Kojima?
You're a real dumb face, is what he says.
Those are exact quote, guys.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. You're a big dumb face, whatever you said. Whatever he said, sorry.
Yeah, that definitely came up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wonder if anyone's going to replay it at all, just because it's going to take so effing long to finish.
This might be. I don't know. Who knows? Because I don't think it's gonna be. I bet you first week you're gonna see a million posts on forums being like, Phantom Pain beaten in 3 hours, and that's not gonna be impressive at all to anybody. Because
Yeah,
I think
well,
it's one of those
it's-
games where once you know what you're doing, you can probably do it fast. But if you explore, here's the deal, guys. This is a story I told before, but the first time I got Metal Gear Solid 3, it took me like 3 days to beat the Virtuous mission. What was it? That's the first mission, right?
Yeah, it took me a while to beat that too.
Yeah. When I do it now, it takes 20 minutes.
Well, here's
Or
what I'm
less.
going to say. It's like if someone posted on a forum, they were like, "Yo, dog, I ate this $200 filet mignon in 5 minutes." You'd be like, "That's great, but you didn't enjoy it."
I'd be like,
You
why?
didn't-
Why?
You didn't
Why'd you do that?
savor what that delicious filet was bringing on the table.
Yeah. I mean, because of course you have these people who their only goal is to try and diminish the fun of other people, and that brings them joy. We call them
Right.
awful people.
I was about to say we call those terrible people who are awful.
Dude, you hear that story about these kids now who are like, oh, I heard the iPhone 6 can bend. So they took a video of themselves going to the Apple store bending phones.
I did, but I'm not sure. I didn't know what bending phones meant.
Oh, so the iPhone 6 is very thin. So like there's this video some dude online is like, you can bend this with enough force. And he like bends it using just his hands. But his like hands turn blue and he's like trying really hard and he eventually does it.
He cries a little.
Which, by the way, I'm pretty confident I could bust my 5 in half if I really felt like it. Who cares? So now like there's this huge controversy. People are calling it Bendgate because everyone's a moron online. but like that the 6 can be bent or whatever, like just by being in your pocket, which is obviously not true. But like, yeah. So there's these kids who are like, you could bend it. So they just went to a store and like did that, and they posted online. People were like, "You're stupid," and they're like, "We're not stupid." And now they're like apologizing to Apple, which is hilarious to me.
Sorry, well, I was wrong. We are stupid.
Oh, wait a minute, we're morons. Anyway, guys, so there are going to be people who try and bend your iPhone 6 of Phantom Pain by beating it really fast or like being like, this texture is low quality or some nonsense. That's because people need to ruin your fun to be happy. And that's why they're going to turn into sad people very soon. Actually, they already are.
They're sad at night.
But just remember that you're a great person because you don't do that. And Kojima loves you. That's what you need to know. Dude, think about this. Papa Newell and Papa Kojima are hanging out together on my Steam account soon. It's going to be great.
I was cruising through V today.
But like cruising is the funniest term.
Yeah, I was cruising by V Town.
I'll cruise around and pick you up later.
And it was just an email. It was just an image of an email that somebody sent to Gabe Newell that was just, I have to bring in pictures of my family for Spanish class. Can I bring a picture of you and just say you're my uncle or something? Gabe was just like, okay.
That's awesome.
I know. It made me laugh.
Dude, you always see like emails.
Made me laugh with
stuff.
a boyish laugh.
Yeah, I swear half of his day is spent returning emails with one word. He's like the Calvin Coolidge of internet emails.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because he's always just like, yes, or you got it, or something like that.
Nailed it.
Or like, happy birthday. Guys, you should be the Calvin Coolidge of iTunes reviews.
Wow.
Just leave one that says, you got it, or something like that. Dude, I've been listening to the Paul F. Tomcast lately, and he always gives ridiculous iTunes like things for people to write. Like the one was like he wanted people to make an iTunes review, but then like in it subtly weave in that Alec Baldwin has a really old cell phone. So if you ever go read the reviews of his channel, there's like all these stupid little like challenges like that, and they're all funny. That's because Paul F. Tompkins is a professional comedian, guys. We are not. We're just going to tell you to be Calvin Coolidge and say 2 words.
Exactly.
Or say nothing at all, but just do it.
What if your 2 words are Calvin Coolidge?
Oh, that'd be so
blown.
meta. Yeah, I don't.
Mind blown.
That would really confuse him. That's what I'm saying. Guys, if you want to confuse us, send us an email. We wouldn't know how to deal with that.
Guys, I'm posing. Here's what I'm going to say. We always get to it because we love you guys so much. We always get to them at the end of the show. But if there's any game you want us to do for speed reviews, you should send us like a list of your games that you like that we haven't done.
Great idea.
That'd be rad. Like
That'd be a great idea.
Top 10 list of games that you like, and then we'll speed review them.
Yo, for real, send us your top 10 favorite games of all time.
Yeah, and then we'll speed review them.
We'll even say your name if you contribute a list.
Exactly.
That's an easy challenge.
You can be on the show just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Guys, go check out the YouTube channel if you haven't. Just in general, enjoy the Suns. Because we enjoy you.
We're here for you, is what I would say.
Someone recently emailed me telling me he had a date, and I said, I hope she's nice. That was it.
Guys,
you know
that's the positive encouragement you're going to expect. You're going to get from both of us.
I'm here for emotional support to all of our fans.
Emotional.
Guys, I'm kind of a therapist.
Support.
But you know what? We're kind of therapists to a lot of people, and some people just need maybe 2 minutes a week of something that we give a large amount of people.
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm going to say. I'm talking about speed reviews.
Tom C., this is the top 10 Nintendo DS games spun off from internet distributed games.
Sounds awful.
Number 10, Miami Nights, Singles in the City.
Miami Nights is not that song by Tenacious D where he talks about farting and cheese and stuff, so it gets a 0 out of 10. Cake Mania.
Cake Mania is a terrible mental affliction that makes people obsessed with cakes, and it costs the lives of families, hundreds of families every year, and it's terrible. 0 out of 10. Number 8, Slingo Quest.
Slingo definitely sounds like it's a racial slur. Like, here's the deal. If it's not, I'm going to say it is for Irish people. Sorry. This game's racist towards Irish people. 0 out of 10. Ragnarok DS.
Ragnarok D's was my nickname in high school.
like
It's
that.
a 10 out of 10. Number 6, Club Penguin, Elite Penguin Force.
Why do we need an elite penguin force? Why can't we have like cute penguin adventure or something?
I don't know.
Why
This
these
kind of looks like a cute penguin adventure.
like it's Club Penguin? How about penguins hang out? Why they gotta be like snipers or whatever? It's like veteran murder squad. Club Penguin. 0 out of 10. N plus.
N plus is a very, very rare blood type that I actually have, and we are universal lovers. That's what the doctors call us. It's 7 out of 10. Number 4, Tofu Collection.
Guys, you know tofu is versatile as a food. Now it's versatile as a game. 7 out of 10. Super Collapse 3.
Someone needs to get on the zoning board here because this is the third Super Collapse. It's just terrible. Hundreds of lives lost. 0 out of 10. Number 2, Bejeweled 3.
I've bejeweled 3 parts of my body, and I'll let you guess what they are. 10 out of 10. Line Rider.
The thing about this game was I really liked it because it was really easy, but it never ended because lines go on for infinite space. So I'm still
Math
playing
jokes.
it. I will get back to you once it's finished.
Guys, we did it. Oh, what's the
Guys,
score?
I'm not done with it yet.
God. I'm sorry.
Guys, we're going to talk to you next week.
We did it.